West Tennesseans head out to a fun-filled event. A big parade was held in one West Tennessee county. A local business hosts a special event to help the homeless. And meteorologist Corrales Ortiz says the clouds will continue to linger for a while. She has the latest weather updates ahead.
Now, from West Tennessee's news channel, this is 7 Eyewitness News at 5:30.
We begin tonight at 5:30 with West Tennesseans heading out for a day of fun with family and friends. Thank you for joining us. I'm Stephanie Fernandez. WBBJ 7 Eyewitness News reporter Diamond Williams is live in the studio, and she's here to tell us all about the fun-filled event. Diamond, what can you tell us?
Yes, Stephanie, over 600 people attended today's annual Family Fun Day. Take a look.
Every year near Halloween, Soul Quest delivers Family Fun Day to the Jackson community. Senior Pastor Ronnie Coleman says this year is special because it gives the community a glimpse of where their new church will be.
Today we actually had it on our land. This is the land where our future church building will be sitting one day. We bought 25 acres right here next to Smallwoods. Campers and trailers, and we thought this year, well, let's have it outside. It's better, it's cold with COVID and everything like that.
Pastor Coleman says annually this event brings about 1,000 people. He says people travel from all over West Tennessee for this very day.
We got jump houses, we got petting zoos and pony rides and hay rides and free food. It's just been a great day.
Sound technician for Soul Quest, David Rodemaker, says people attend the event regardless of church or faith affiliation.
It's just insane to see people come that wouldn't set foot in church the other day and like, I can wear my costume, my kids can wear a costume. I had somebody ask me like, hey, do you care if I paint my kid's face? I don't care what you do, just come.
Rodemaker says he hopes the event can bring people closer to God and help people understand what Soul Quest stands for.
Soul Quest is for those who aren't here yet. It's there for people who don't know God and either have been burnt by church or just don't feel comfortable, don't feel like they fit in. That's what we're here for. For everybody that's messed up, everybody that doesn't feel at home, everybody that wants somebody to love them, that's all we're here for.
Pastor Coleman says they do not have an exact date yet for when the new church location will be built, but he hopes it's soon. Live in studio, Diamond Williams, WBBJ 7 Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Diamond. You can visit Soul Quest Church at their temporary location at Union University Drive every Sunday.
The prettiest day today. It didn't stop people from enjoying and having some fun activities going on for our Sunday. It's still been a little bit on the cooler side, although still slightly warmer in comparison to yesterday. But this cloud cover just continues to linger across all of West Tennessee and really mid-south. So our high was only 57 degrees. We were at 50 yesterday, and our low this morning was actually 50 degrees. So we really didn't change since our yesterday's afternoon temperatures as we went into the overnight hours. On average, we should normally be sitting at around 70 degrees, and we might be struggling to warm up a whole lot more going into the week. Currently sitting at 56 here in Jackson. More of that cloud cover, light winds out of the northwest, which will be calm going into tonight. Temperatures are going to be slowly dropping, not a whole lot, probably expected to drop back to around 50 by the time we get towards the overnight hours. So, and look at the tropics right now. We are focusing on Tropical Storm Zeta as its latest path still continues to head towards the Central Gulf, which I'll have more updates on that. This first look is brought to you by Helping Hands of Tennessee. I'll talk more about what we can expect for a week ahead, including the rounds of rain, which could be heavy at times later in the week. Stephanie?
We have updated numbers for COVID-19 from the Tennessee Department of Health. In West Tennessee, Madison County has 30 more cases of COVID-19 with 74 total deaths. Gibson County has 32 new cases, 44 total deaths. Carroll County has 18 new cases, 26 total deaths. Chester County has 7 new cases, 14 total deaths. Crockett County has 35 new cases, 20 total deaths. Hardin County has no new cases, 20 total deaths. And Henderson County has 14 new cases, 26 total deaths. For a full list of cases by county, look for the story on our website under the COVID-19 tab. And on the state level, according to the Tennessee Department of Health, more than 41,000 additional people have been tested for COVID-19 since yesterday, and 973 people have been hospitalized. New at 5:30, if you were in Weakley County today, you may have seen a caravan of cars and trucks parading in support of President Donald Trump. About 50 cars rode through the city of Martin, making their way to other cities like Sharon, Greenfield, Gleason, and Dresden. Many were honking their horns and making their support known as President Trump runs for a second term. The parade remained peaceful the entire time. A local record store in downtown Jackson held a special event Saturday, and it's all for a great cause. Saturday was National Record Selling Day, and Third Eye Curiosity's record store in Jackson, along with other partners, raised funding to give back to the homeless in the community. The event is called Crew Fest, and it was organized to raise a percentage of the money sold from records to give to people in need. Hunter Cross, co-owner of Third Eye Curiosities, says this event had plenty of meaning to it with a lot of donations.
This is a benefit for our homeless community. Basically, 20% of our proceeds today are going to RIFA as well as Area Relief Ministries. We're also having people donate coats, non-perishable foods.
Organizers say they hope to continue having events just like this one in the future. Across the country, senators met at Capitol Hill Saturday debating the nomination of Amy Coney Barrett to the Supreme Court. As Britt Conway reports, it's a rare weekend session, setting up the final confirmation vote for the start of next week.
Yesterday, the Senate took the first step toward concluding our consideration of Judge Amy Coney Barrett's nomination to the Supreme Court.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell kicking off the final hours of debate over the nomination of Amy Coney Barrett. For weeks, Democrats have decried Senate Republicans' efforts to fast-track the confirmation before the election.
Withdraw the nomination of Amy Coney Barrett till after the election. Plain and simple.
Democrats argue since Senate Republicans denied hearings on President Obama's Supreme Court pick during his final year in office, the same should happen with President Trump's nominee. But McConnell says he's following precedent.
There is no inconsistency between the Republican Senate's decision in 2016 and our decision to confirm Judge Barrett this year.
Who would believe that? The contradiction is glaring. The contradiction will be a stain on the leader's forehead and on the entire Republican caucus if it continues.
The Senate will hold a procedural vote on Sunday to break a Democratic filibuster, leaving Democrats unable to block the nomination and setting the stage for a final confirmation vote scheduled just 8 days before the election. I'm Britt Conway reporting.
The final confirmation vote for Judge Amy Coney Barrett is scheduled for Monday. A group of people protested against a mask mandate in one Tennessee city. And one popular airline has banned 460 anti-maskers. That news and more coming up next. A beloved former mayor and police chief was honored with a special ceremony on Saturday. Former mayor and chief Jesse S. Powers, longtime resident of Scotts Hill, was honored on Saturday. That morning, residents remember him by attending the unveiling of his highway memorial on Tennessee Highway 14 in Henderson County. Chief Powers served on the force for 40 years. At the end of his term, he was the longest-serving chief in all the state of Tennessee. After Chief Powers retired from being police chief, he served as Scotts Hill mayor until his death. Community members say Powers will be remembered as an icon in Scotts Hill. A group of protesters gathered in Franklin, Tennessee to protest against a mask mandate. Reporter Joshua Cole has more on this story.
Around Franklin Square, protesters gathered against the reissued mandate for masks.
If you want to give a county mayor the authority to issue a mask mandate, then you've got to go through a legislative process.
The county mayor reissued the mandate, saying COVID put operation of businesses, schools, and government services in jeopardy.
I think people are afraid.
Protesters not in face coverings of their own say the masks put their rights in jeopardy.
They just don't know their constitutional rights. People, we gotta read, we gotta know what we believe in and why we believe in it, and it's just that's the sad truth.
While News 4 spoke with Amanda, one car appearing against the protests began honking their horn.
This is still America.
More protesters in favor of the masks appeared across the street. We talked to this man watching nearby, but still thinks others should wear a mask for safety.
Kind of disappointed in the folks doing this. I think it sends a bad message. Honestly, wearing a mask is about the most minimum you can do. It's really not that big a deal.
We wanted to come together and show support for unconstitutional rights that are being taken away from us.
Samsung Chairman Lee Kun-hee dies at age 78 after long illness. Samsung announced his death in a statement on Sunday. Lee had been comatose since suffering a heart attack in 2014. His son, J.Y. Lee, has led the company since he became vice chairman in 2012. He is expected to inherit his father's title as chairman of the company. Delta Airlines has banned more than 400 people from flying for not following its mask policy. In a new memo to employees, Delta's CEO says 460 people are on its no-fly list for refusing to comply with the company's mask requirement. Delta began requiring that passengers wear masks on flights on May 4th and says the policy is to protect the health and safety of both passengers and crew members. All major airlines now mandate that passengers wear masks in the absence of any new regulations from the federal government. You can now order coronavirus tests from Costco online. The wholesale retailer is selling COVID-19 saliva test kits on its website. Customers have two options to choose from: the kit with video observation and ones without it. The kit alone is around $130 before you can receive your test. Azova says you must complete a health assessment and register for a lab order. After the lab receives your kit, they say you should have your test results within 24 to 72 hours. The U.S. reported its highest number of COVID-19 infections in one day since the start of the pandemic. The nation reported more than 80,000 new coronavirus infections on Friday. That beats the early high of 77,000 plus cases Johns Hopkins University reported in July. The U.S. Surgeon General also warned that officials are seeing an increase in hospitalizations in 75% of the jurisdictions across the country. Some animals at the Brookfield Zoo in Illinois are enjoying a popular Halloween treat, and no, it's not candy. The zoo's 2 sloth bears, African lions, and a snow leopard cub and more got carved pumpkins this week. Some of the gourds were filled with fruit, bones, bugs, spices, or meat. Some of the animals got right to work eating the pumpkins, while others spent time checking them out and playing with them. Staff say giving the animals food they don't normally get is a way to physically and mentally stimulate them.
Absolutely cute. Well, Tropical Storm Zeta quickly formed within the last 24 hours. Its path right now has it headed towards the Central Gulf and could play a role in our forecast later this week. Have the latest updates next.
Storm Team weather with meteorologist Corrales Ortiz.
Well, what a gloomy weekend it has been, and we are not expecting to see sunshine anytime soon in our forecast. It definitely gave us a fall feel these last couple of days. So we are still dealing with this lingering cloud cover, even a little bit of some drizzle that's kind of showing up right now with our view of downtown Jackson, and temperatures have remained in the 50s for at least the past 24 plus hour. So currently sitting at 56 degrees. We actually started off our morning at around 50 degrees, which was actually our high yesterday afternoon. So those temperatures really haven't varied a whole lot. The winds have been staying light out of the northwest, and it's just been overall cloudy and damp out there. Temperatures also really haven't budged for much of the day, mainly staying in the mid to upper 50s. A few spots did manage to reach into the lower 60s. It was as high as 64 over in Savannah earlier this afternoon, but elsewhere we just kind of been remaining in the 50s and slowly warming up into the week, but not a whole lot. We might not even see 70s in the forecast, but it could be worse. In some places it's actually in the single digits. Look at Great Falls right now, 9 degrees, 15 right now in Rapid City, and 12 in Denver. They are dealing with some bitter cold conditions as what we normally deal with in the middle of winter, which again, we still have plenty of time before we have to deal with all that. So for us though, the cloud cover is expected to unfortunately linger in the week, not only because we are expecting it still to linger with what we have now, but because we could be seeing rain back in the forecast as early as Monday night. So again, sunshine is not going to be shown anytime soon. So right now, just dealing with some light drizzle. It's going to be a quiet pattern for now until we get towards the middle of the week. So here's the latest update right now with Tropical Storm Zeta, which actually pretty quickly intensified compared to yesterday, where it actually just turned into a tropical depression, already quickly formed into a tropical storm with those winds sustained at 50 miles per hour. It is fairly stationary, a lot more organized compared to yesterday. It was just a bunch of clusters, so it's starting to try to get itself together just off the Yucatan Peninsula, eventually making its path across that as a Category 1 hurricane, slowly starting to intensify. Again, this is something we'll keep monitoring the further it gets towards the middle of the week, because as you know, the forecast can easily change. It could shift a little bit more west or east, which as of now it is a little bit further towards the east, expected to make impacts anywhere between the Louisiana coast or the Florida panhandle. Anybody there should definitely be weather aware. Unfortunately, that area just cannot get a break from any of these storms that's just been constantly moving through. Right now, though, the forecast has it indicating making landfall sometime Wednesday afternoon, possibly either as a weak Category 1 or a strong tropical storm. So here's a look at our futurecast, just showing us what's going to happen as we go within the next couple of days. Still expecting much of the same type of lingering cloud cover into our Monday, maybe a little bit of some drizzle. We'll eventually see a cold front stall just north of the interstate. That's going to keep those rain chances a little bit further to our north, so we could see just a few isolated showers eventually lifting out of the area and just keeping us dry for now until we get another round of some rain, which could be influenced depending on the path of where Zeta does take its path later into the week, and of course the association of an upper level low pressure system that's going to be tracking across the mid-south by the time we get towards Wednesday. Heavy rain though is definitely looking like a possibility from Wednesday into Thursday. Unfortunately, anywhere from 2 to 4 inches is possible from that. So after that, it does look a lot nicer though. But any updates that we do have later in the week, make sure to download our Storm Team Weather app, which is powered by the Jackson Clinic, and we'll give you updates the further we go into the week. So as we go into tonight, temperatures not changing a whole lot. 50 degrees, cloudy and cool, 61 for tomorrow, continuing to stay quiet as we go into the week. 7-day forecast is brought to you by Beal Law Firm in Lexington. As like I mentioned, not a whole lot of 70s in that forecast.
The temperatures are looking wonderful indeed.
You know what else is wonderful, Stephanie?
Oh no.
Birthdays. I actually wanted to squeeze that in there real quick because it is
Corrales. We were not supposed to bring that up.
Stephanie Fernandez's birthday today, so wish her a happy birthday, everybody. She thought she could hide that from everybody, so
we were supposed to keep that quiet.
But happy birthday to you. I know the forecast was not the best today, but have a great day either way.
Thank you, Corrales. Coming up, we have some sports highlights. That news and more coming up next. In close game, the Memphis Tigers beat the Temple Owls with a final score of 41-29. The Temple Owls tried to make a comeback in the second quarter, but the Memphis Tigers would bounce back in the second half and continue to play in a dominant fashion. The Memphis Tigers will go to play Cincinnati Bearcats next week. The Rutgers Scarlet Knights defeated the Michigan State Spartans with a final of 38-27. And in an exciting matchup, the Tennessee Titans face off against the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers took an early lead in the game, scoring 24 points in the first half, while Tennessee struggled to make a comeback. But after a failed attempt at a field goal by Titans kicker Stephen Gutowski, Tennessee came up short with a final score of Pittsburgh 27 and Tennessee 24. The Titans are set to play the Cincinnati Bengals next week. And last night, the Tampa Bay Rays and the Los Angeles Dodgers faced off once again in Game 4 of the World Series. The game came to an epic ending at the bottom of the ninth inning when Tampa Bay's Brett Phillips singled to the right center field. An error made by Los Angeles catcher Will Smith allowed Randy Arozarena to dive in and score for Tampa Bay. The final score was Tampa Bay Rays 8, Los Angeles Dodgers 7, which now makes them tied 2-2 as they look forward to their game scheduled for tonight.
Well, we are going to struggle to see some sunshine for much of the week ahead. I have one final look at that forecast coming up.
So, Corrales, the weather really hasn't been all that great today.
Yeah, all weekend we've just been dealing with these pesky clouds. They're not going to be going away anytime soon. Even a little bit of some of that drizzle just made you want to stay inside and just be nice and cozy and warm because we've been stuck in the 50s for quite some time. So sweater weather is like what you like to call it. But yes, although we are quiet now, we could expect some pretty heavy rainfall later in the week, especially Wednesday and Thursday. Not only possibly associated with whatever happens with the latest in the tropics with Zeta, as well as a closed, I should say, upper level low pressure area, that could trek across the area later into the week. Words are hard sometimes. So here's a look at that 7-day forecast once again. We are going to be seeing better conditions though to end off the week.
Thank you for joining us, everyone. We'll see you at 10.